Let's just start with the word of prayer.
Sizokhuleka.
Dear God in heaven, we thank you for today's day. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for all the things that you have taught us and the things that you continue to teach us, and teach us more about you and who you are. I pray that you be with each and every one of us as we're about to do this presentation. I pray all this in Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
So I'm gonna do a bit of a review of the presentation that I was doing last week.
Into esizoyenza namhlanje sizoqala ngokuthi sibuyekeze nje lokho esikwenzile kule presentation yeviki eledlule.
I first started by reviewing where we are in history.
Into engiqale ngayo ukubheka ukuthi sikuphi emlandweni.
And I said it's important for us to know where you come from so that you know where you're going.
Ngasho futhi ukuthi kubalulekile ukuthi wazi ukuthi uqhamukaphi ukuze uzokwazi ukuthi ubhekephi.
So because we're no longer in our reform line, the priest reform line.
Ngokuba-ke asisekho kuma-reform lines lawa obupriest.
We're now here at 144 reform line.
Sesikulo layini wenguquko we-144,000.
And we are just right here.
Silapha-ke.
So this was the point of this huge reform line, to show us where we are.
Yilo leli phuzu-ke ebengiliveza.
Another point was to show us where we've come from.
Elinye-ke iphuzu elokuveza ukuthi siphumaphi.
How we are now above 30 years old.
Ukuthi sesidlule kangakanani kule minyaka eyi-30 yobudala.
I don't know if my calculations have been okay, but let me just.
Safuna
We are
ukuqinisekisa iy'balo zami
okay.
zikahle.
We are 37 years old.
Sesineminyaka-ke ewu-37.
We are adults.
Sesibadala ngokwanele.
And from the beginning of 2019, we were supposed to act as adults.
Ngasekuqaleni-ke kuka-2019 bekufanele sibe abantu abenza njengabantu abadala.
We're expected to grow as adults, to see the world as adults.
Bekufanele-ke besilindele ukuthi sikhule njengabantu abakhulile. Senze njengabantu izenzo zethu zibe ezabantu abadala.
We're supposed to read the Bible as adults, and in many ways we did just that.
Bekufanele sifunde iBhayibheli njengabantu asebekhulile. Ngendlela eyiningi-ke sikwenzile lokho.
And you can see that in how we read the Bible now.
Singabona-ke indlela esifunda ngayo iBhayibheli manje.
So from 1989 to 2019.
Kusukela ngo-1989 kuya ku-2019.
That's 30 years.
Iminyaka ewu-30 leyo.
From 2019 to close of probation.
Ukusuka-ke ku-2019 kuya ekuvaleni komusa.
That is 2026.
Oku-2026.
We have grown.
Sikhulile.
And we have been expected to be mature adults, not naive babies.
silindeleke ukuthi sibe ababonisa ukukhula, hhayi iy'ngane nje ezinganaki.
So that was the point of this whole thing, to just show that we are expected to act as adults.
Bekuyilona phuzu-ke ebengifisa ukulicacisa lelo ukuthi simelwe ukwenza ukwenziswa kwabantu asebekhulile.
And with that in mind,
Sinalokho emqondweni,
I looked at Egypt.
ngiye ngabheka-ke iGibhithe.
Also looked at Sinai and Canaan.
Ngibuye ngabheka futhi neSinai neKhanani.
Basically went to ancient history.
Kahle kahle ngiye nje kumlando wasendulo.
The main reason why we did that
Isizathu esikhulu esenza ukuthi senze lokho
was to answer the question
ukuphendula umbuzo
on why was the Ten Commandments given on Mount Sinai, not in Egypt or Canaan? Why was it specifically given on Mount Sinai?
ukuthi kungani imithetho eyishumi kwamele inikezwe entabeni le iMount Sinai, kungenzekanga ukuthi inikezwe laphaya eGibhithe noma eKhanani.
I mean, Canaan was such a beautiful place of milk and honey. Why wasn't the Ten Commandments given then?
So khumbula ukuthi iKhanani le izwe elihle kakhulu, elichazwa njengezwe loju nezinyosi. Kungani inganikezwanga khona?
Egypt was not
Egypt was not what?
a wonderful place. It wasn't a great place anyway.
iGibhithe-ke yayingesilo izwe elihle ngaleyo ndlela.
But God could have told Moses to tell the people that, oh, actually have these 10 commandments that you should obey before we leave for this great milk and honey place.
Kodwa nje uNkulunkulu wayengasho ukuthi awu Moses, yazi nakho okunye enginakho, nayi imithetho eyishumi okufanele uyinikeze abantu bami, njengoba sesihamba sesiya ezweni elihle.
So that was one of the questions we had, and we actually answered.
Yeminye imibuzo leyo esasinayo, sasesiyiphendula futhi.
Another question we had,
omunye futhi umbuzo sibe nawo,
was regarding the 6 and the 4 commandments.
wawumayelana-ke nemithetho le eminye emine neminye eyisithupha.
How we say the 6 is between men and men,
ukuthi zisho kanjani ukuthi le eyisithupha iphakathi komuntu nomuntu,
and how the 4 is between God and men.
ukuthi kwenzeka kanjani ukuthi le eminye emine futhi ibe phakathi komuntu noNkulunkulu.
So for those who were in last week's presentation,
Kulabo-ke ababekhona kwisifundo sethu sangevikele edlule,
can you remind us why did we say the reason was for God giving the 10 commandments in Sinai, northern Canaan, where it's a land of milk and honey, or in Egypt when they're preparing to go? Why was it specifically saying?
ukuthi-ke usinikeze incazelo ukuthi kungani uNkulunkulu anikeza ngale miyalelo entabeni le iSinai kungekhona eKhanani.
I won't be able to see if you raised your hands or anything, so you can just speak.
Angizukwazi ukubona makukhona ophakamisayo. Uma kukhona ofisa ukuphendula akavele avule imic yakhe aphendule.
I need to have interaction. So I encourage interaction.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, your question was why did God give the commandments in on Sinai rather than in Egypt or in Canaan? Did I
uNicholas
get
uNicholas uphinde umbuzo obuziwe ukuthi kungani uNkulunkulu anikaza umthetho le esinayo esikhundleni sokuthi mhlambe ayinikeze le eKhanani ezweni elihle.
so if I get the question right, I think
Uma umbuzo uthola kahle,
the children of Israel when they were still in Egypt, they were under captivity. So
ngiyacabanga ukuthi ingane abantwana laba Israyeli ngesikhathi beseseGibhithe
they were still under captivity.
babe ngaphansi kwencindezelo.
So their mentality was still they still had this apis bull mentality.
Ngenxa yokuba ngaphansi kokuthunjwa imiqondo yabo yayisesenakho ukubophezeleka ingaqaqekile.
So God had to make sure they had to separate first to be on their own.
uNkulunkulu wenza isiqiniseko sokuthi aqala abahlukanise neGibhithe le ukuze bekwazi ukuzimela khona bezoba nemiqondo phelele ukwazi ukuzicabangela nokuzikhethela.
So they had to make a move, and then God will take care of the rest after they made the first move.
Ukuthi ke bekwazi ukuthatha nje inyathelo lokuqala bese uNkulunkulu ke eyangezela kokunye ke.
That's why I think God then gave the law at Sinai.
Ileso sizathu enginaso so esenza uNkulunkulu ukuthi anikezele ngomthetho lapha entabeni Sinai.
Okay, thank you, Nicholas. I'm not sure if you were in last week's presentation, but I love your response. Your response is perfect, but that is exactly not what I was looking for. I don't know if someone was in the meeting last week would be able to try.
kuNicholas ngiyaqonda angiqondi noma ubekhona yini kulesi sifundo ngeviki eliphelile. Impendulo inhle impela nakuba ke kungesikhona ebengikulindele.
Yeah, unfortunately not. I wasn't in because of network.
Ngeshwa ke ngingekho ngenxa ye-network.
Okay. Thank you, Nicholas. To just avoid wasting time, I'm just gonna say why I think this is my view.
Ngaphandle nje kokumosha isikhathi ngizobuza ukuthi kungani.
Yeah, so this is my view, just emphasize on that.
Lona kuwumbono wami.
Okay. In a way, what we discovered was that Egypt and Canaan were more of the same thing, the same place.
Esikutholile ukuthi iGibhithe lena neKhanani
they were structured in the same way.
babakheke ngendlela efanayo.
You ask yourself, why, what do you mean?
Ungazibuza ukuthi ke kusho ukuthini lokho.
Let's take a look at Egypt.
Ake sibheke iGibhithe.
Egypt, we had Pharaoh.
Lapha eGibhite sasino-Faro
Pharaoh who was king.
owakuyinkosi yakhona eGibhite.
He controlled the politics, he controlled the economics.
Wayengamele zonke lezi zinto-ke, ipolitiki nezomnotho kwakungaphansi kwesandla sakhe.
He was a divine power.
Kwakungamandla amakhulu lawo.
He was the law.
Wayewumthetho uqobo lwawo.
So right and wrong depended on what the king thought.
Okuhle nokubi kwakuncike ekuthenini inkosi yona icabangani.
There also were many gods.
Kwakuney'thixo futhi ey'ningi
That this king believed in.
le nkosi-ke eyayikholelwa kuzo.
It's kind of fascinating to me how he's God, but also has other gods that he looks up to.
Kuyangixakaxakanisa impela ukuthi labo nkulunkulu babenziwe kanjani.
But I digress.
Repeat that again, Tina.
But I digress. I don't know how to use another word. It's digressing.
Okay, let's carry on, Tina.
Okay. Then you get to Canaan.
Bese ufika-ke eKhanani.
There wasn't a king who was law.
Yayingekho inkosi-ke eyayiwumthetho.
However, we did have many gods.
Nakuba-ke babekhona onkulunkulu abaningi.
But right and wrong just dependent on what God are you trying to please.
Okuhle nokubi-ke kwakuncike ekuthenini-ke yena muphi unkulunkulu omkhonzayo.
So God knew when they left Egypt and immediately they just got to Canaan.
uNkulunkulu wayazi ukuthi mabe phuma eGibhite bazoya eKhanani.
They'll just be bombarded with this many gods and this different standards of justice.
Wayazi ukuthi-ke bazohlangabezana nalolu chacha loNkulunkulu abakhona lapha eKhanani.
It wouldn't be a good learning environment.
Kwakungeke kube-ke isimo senhlalo esihle leso.
But Mount Sinai, sorry.
Kodwa lapha eSinai
They were isolated.
Laphana babe ngozimele geqe kungekho lutho olunye olubaphazamisayo.
No, there were no many gods.
Babengekho onkulunkulu abanye.
There was one God.
Kwakunalo uNkulunkulu nje oyedwa.
You could say there were politics, economics, but well, you cannot really say that because they were just walking and walking. There was not
Ungasho nje
really
ukuthi
time for that.
ungasho nje kwakukhona ezombusazwe nezomnotho. Kodwa kahle kahle babe ngabantu abalokhu behamba nje behamba.
Anyway, so Egypt and Canaan had the same principle anyway, where they both had many gods, many standards of justice, and obviously in that environment, the weak, obviously, the powerful would overtake the weak.
Engikubonayo nje ukuthi iGibhithe le neKhanani babe nemigomo ethi ayifane. Ukuthi onamandla kunomunye uzokwenza noma yini athanda ukuyenza kulo ongenawo amandla.
These 10 commandments were meant to prevent that.
Le mithetho ke yishumi ke yayikhonela ukuvikela lokho.
They were meant to prevent the opposite, the oppressive, unequal power structures that we see in Egypt and Canaan.
Yayizele ukuzovikela ke ukuzovikela nanoma yini enye eyayingenza kube khona ucindezeleka kwabathize.
So these 10 commandments were meant to be one standard of justice for all.
Yayenzelwe ukuthi ibe nje istandard somthetho ozobulungiswa kuwo wonke umuntu.
Okay, just give me a second. Okay, in Egypt, many standards of justice.
Lapha eGibhithe kwakuney'ndlela ezibekiwe zezomthetho.
And in Canaan,
Lapha
many
eKhenani
standards of justice as well. There are many standards of justice as well.
nakhona futhi eKhenani kwakunale migomo le yezomthetho.
Because there are many gods.
Kwakunale migomo ke yezobulungiswa ebekiwe.
And this place was kind of a breakaway.
Le ndawo ke yona yayibukeka njengendawo nje yokuthi umuntu angafudukela khona.
Where we're just going to have one standard of justice.
Lapho uzoba nomgomo nje wodwa wezobulungiswa.
You can ask yourself, what's so wrong about having many standards of justice?
Ungayibuza ukuthi yini wrong engalungile ngokuthi ube nemigomo eminingi yezobulungiswa.
Because to be honest, there can only be one standard of justice.
Eqinisweni ke kungaba khona umgomo wodwa wobulungiswa.
The one meant to ensure equal wealth and protection for everyone.
Lona ozomela nje ukuthi abantu bayalingana ngokomnotho namathuba alinganayo futhi.
Equal worth, like.
Okay. Ukuthi abantu babalulekile ngokulingana.
And regardless of their social standard.
Kungakhathalekile ukuthi baphila mpiloni noma
That was the
banani.
point. So that was the point.
Bekuyilelo phuzu ke ebengizama ukulicacisa.
The reason why Canaan was the place where the 10 commandments were given is because God knew what they were going into. God knew they're going to a place where they had many standards of justice. And God just wanted to lay the groundwork while they are all isolated, to just tell them, this is who I am, and these are my laws. And yeah.
Ileso sizathu ke esenza ukuthi uNkulunkulu abanikeze lemiyalelo lapha bese seKhenani la behleli khona kungekho lutho olubaphazamisayo besaseyibo nje kuyingekho into ebaphazamisayo ngoba wayazi ukuthi la baya khona bazobhekana nalezi zimo zokuphila la kunemigomo khona eminingi. So uNkulunkulu wayefuna ukuthi bemazi ukuthi ubani bese selapha eCanaan eSinayi ukuze mabefika eCanaan befike vele sebazi ukuthi bakhonza lo nkulunkulu oyilolu hlobo onale mithetho le ekanje yokuphilisana.
Throughout the movement, we have talked about how the 6 and the 4 are between God and man.
Esikhathini esiningi la ku-movement siye sakhuluma mayelana siye sacacisa mayelana nale miyalelo ukuthi ewu-4 imayelana noNkulunkulu nomuntu, eyisithupha imayelana nomuntu nomuntu.
And the 6 is just teaching us on how to treat human beings in a good way.
Lena eyisithupha-ke yona isitshela nje ukuthi siphathana kanjani njengabantu ngendlela enhle.
Yeah, and the slides just says that Canaan was just a legal sandbox.
Lena-ke isibonisa ukuthi-ke iCanaan yayi-legal sandbox.
It was just a constitutional vacuum.
Kwakuyindawo yesishayamthetho.
A place that was meant to show everyone that there is only one sole judge and lawgiver.
Indawo-ke eyayiyenziwe ukubonisa ukuthi kune-judge elilodwa.
And also, you know, it was just a place of, I'm gonna use a lot of legal words, so I just hope that I won't confuse people.
Ngizosebenzisa amagama amaningi-ke asemthethweni, ngiyaqiniseka ukuthi angizukulahla abantu abaningi.
I'm gonna use a lot of legal jargon, so I apologize in advance.
Ngizothanda ukuxolisa-ke kulokho.
Yeah, so right, we talked about the 4 and the 6, and how the 6 is between God and man, and the 4 is between man and God.
Sisakhuluma ngayo-ke le miyalelo eyu-4 ukuthi yenzeka kanjani ukuthi ibe mayelana nomuntu noNkulunkulu, nale yisithupha ukuthi nayo kanjani ukuthi ibe mayelana nomuntu nomuntu.
And because we know that the 6 is between God and between the 6 is between man and man, I don't even need to go through that, because I think we have a fair share of understanding of what that meant.
Ngoba yonke lena ewu-4 kanye nayo le yisithupha sesiyazi ukuthi imayelana ichumana kanjani. Angicabanga ukuthi kufanele ngiqale phansi ngiyibheke.
My study emphasized on the 4.
Isifundo sami-ke sigxila kakhulu kule ewu-4.
The commandments between God and man.
Imiyalelo le phakathi kwaNkulunkulu nomuntu.
That in a way, if you look at it in a different way,
Kodwa-ke mawuyibheka ngendlela ehlukile,
because we know that as adults, we have different ways of understanding something, it does not make the other thing less true.
ukuthi-ke njengoba njengabantu abadala siney'ndlela ey'ningi zokubona izinto, kodwa-ke lokho akwenzi ukuthi enye indlela ebonakala ngayo into ayilunganga.
So the version of the 10 commandments that I'm going to look at between the four commandments that I'm going to look at, it does not debunk our version we've had for the longest time about the 4.
Le version lena ebesivele sinayo nalena engizokhuluma ngayo manje ayicabani.
Or maybe it does, who knows?
Kungenzeka-ke ubani owaziyo.
So when you look at the 4 commandments and basically Leviticus 26 verse 1 to 2,
Mawubheka ke le miyalelo ewu4 kakhulukazi uLeviticus 26 verse 1 to 2,
they're all saying the same thing. No gods, no other gods or idols. Do not have any other gods beside me. No idols.
isho into efanayo ukuthi akungabi nabanye onkulunkulu kanjalo kanjalo.
Respect my Sabbath.
Ukuthi ukhumbule isabatha lami.
Keep my Sabbath.
Yes, ukhumbule isabatha lami uligcine.
And respect the sanctuary.
Bese uhlonipha futhi i-sanctuary yami.
In a nutshell, that's what the 4 is talking about.
Ngendlela ecacile ke le miyalelo 4 ikhuluma ngalokho.
That's what the first commandment is saying.
Ilokho okushiwo umyalelo wokuqala.
Don't have any other gods besides me.
Ukuthi ungabi nabanye onkulunkulu ngaphandle kwami.
And the reason God gave is because I am a jealous God.
Isizathu asinikeza uNkulunkulu ukuthi uyasho ukuthi uNkulunkulu onomhawu.
So Leviticus 26, 1 to 2, and I think it's Exodus 1 to 11.
Leviticus 26 verse 1 to 2, no, Exodus 20
verse, yeah, 20 verse 1 to 11.
Verse 1 to 11.
Yes, they're saying the same thing. Anyway.
Basho into efanayo.
So the point of me doing this, the reason why I did this whole thing was to show that really the 4 is between men and men.
Isizathu esikhulu esenza ukuthi ngenze lokho bekuwukuthi nje ngithi ngicacise ukuthi ngempela bonke basho okufanayo.
The 4 commandments are not between God, in this version, not between God and man, but between man and man, and how human beings should treat each other.
Ukuthi lena ewu4 noma ewu6 iphakathi kwabantu nabantu ukuthi kumele abantu bephathane kanjani.
So the 4 is really about God telling humans that this is how you should treat other humans.
Leyo 4 imayelana nokuthi uNkulunkulu atshela abantu ukuthi nansi indlela yokuthi uphathe abanye abantu.
When God says no idols,
uma ethi ungabi nezithixo,
this isn't just because God is a jealous God.
akusikhona ukuthi ngoba nje enomhawu.
Because and the reason is that by burning physical images of power,
Isizathu sokuthi maye eshisa izithixo lezi zamandla,
the law explicitly dictates that no human being, no monument or physical political regime can just have absolute sovereignty.
Can you repeat that again, Tina?
It's there on the no slides thing. No thing in here. This is what I'm reading.
Oh, no idols.
Yes.
Yeah,
just start by banning physical images of power.
Okay, lapho ekuthenini ukuqeda kwey'thombe lezi ezibonakalayo ezinikeza amandla nokuvimbela abaholi ukuthi bazenze abantu abangcwele la emhlabeni.
This commandment, it places the ultimate source of power or source of law completely out of the reach of human beings.
Lo myalelo ke le ucacisa ngokusobala ukuthi lokhu kungaphezulu kwamandla omuntu. Iyacacisa kakhulu ukuthi ubani ngempela omkhulu lapha.
It removes the law from being something that can be easily manipulated.
Iyawususa umthetho esimweni la noma ubani ongavele awusebenzise kabi.
It decentralizes power.
Ithatha amandla iwenze abe yinto enkulu kakhulu.
Decentralize is removing a power that belonged to one person and taking that power and just saying that no one can have power.
Ukudecentralize ke lokhu ukuthatha amandla angabi kumuntu oyedwa kube ukuthi wonke umuntu uyafaneleka.
Because if you cannot build a physical idol, you cannot exploit people by telling them to build this massive, expensive template of a statue.
Ngoba ungeke uze ukhande isithixo, ngeke futhi ukuthi uyalela abantu ukuthi bekwenze lokho ngokuthi bakhe esibiza kakhulu.
Most importantly, it just stops human rulers like Pharaoh.
Lokhu ke kuvimbela abaholi abaphezulu njengabantu abafana noFaro
from claiming that they are the physical image of God on earth.
Ukuthi bangazibizi njengabantu abayisibonelo noma abawumfanekiso kaNkulunkulu.
So when God said no other gods before me, he wasn't just doing it because God is jealous and God loves us.
Ngakho ke uNkulunkulu esho lamazwi ukuthi akungabi nayithombe wayengakusho nje ngoba nakhe noMahawu.
He wasn't just saying that because I love my kids and I want you to just worship me because I'm the only God.
Kwakungesikhona nje ukuthi usho ngoba nakho ethanda laba bantu bakhe abadalile ukuthi bemkhonze.
It plays a part in it. God does love us, but God saw what happened. Yeah.
Kunendima okuyidlalayo.
But God saw what happened in Egypt.
Kodwa uNkulunkulu wayebonile okwakwenzeke lapha eGibhithe.
And God was like, to prevent this, no idols.
Wasethatha isinqumo sokuthi ayivikeleke le ndaba yeyithixo.
So it was it was an anti it was an anti-monarchical principle.
You want to explain that?
It was a principle to prevent kings ruling the world.
Kwakumgomo nje wokuthi kuvinjelwe amakhosi ukuthi azenze aphathe njengoNkulunkulu umhlaba.
You know, when the Americans, in that time when they left France. They were running away from this monarchy. So
So,
in a way, the Ten Commandments are saying no monarchy.
Sizokhumbula-ke ngalesikhathi laba abahlala e-USA besabaleka besuka ko-France nakwamanye amazwe, ngenye indlela uNkulunkulu bebalekele wona amakhosi lawa, ubuholi bamakhosi.
So when God
Eh,
says no idols, was basically saying no monarchies. It was no person should be above everyone and being the law.
mayethi uNkulunkulu-ke mayethi akungabi nayithixo, wayechaza khona lokho ukuthi akungabi namuntu ozoba ngaphezu kwabanye, aphathe abanye abantu ngendlela yakhe.
And then we go to the Sabbath. Remember my Sabbath.
Bese siya-ke lapha kuyisabatha, khumbula isabatha.
It wasn't just about God telling us, keep my Sabbath because I made the earth in 6 days and rested on the seventh.
Kwakungesikhona nje ukuthi uNkulunkulu uthi ligcineni isabatha ngoba nakho ngenza umhlaba nakho konke okunye ngase ngiyaphumula, ngakho gcinani
And
isabatha.
emphasis on me saying it wasn't just that, there was something else.
Kwakungesikhona nje lokho kuphela, kodwa kwakunokuthile okungale.
The Sabbath,
Isabatha
it functioned as a mandatory constitutional labor law.
lalisebenza-ke njengomgomo osemthethweni wezokusebenza.
It elevated the resting as a statutory command.
Laliphakamisa-ke ukuthi umuntu kumele aphumule, njengoba kusemiyalweni.
The law legally restricted an employer's right to continuously exploit human labor.
Lo myalelo-ke ngokusemthethweni wawuvimbela labo abangabaqashi ukuthi besebenzise abasebenzi babo nangalo lolu suku, noma ukubasebenzisa ngaphezu kwesimo esijwayelekile nesivumelekile sezokusebenza.
It was just protecting the working class.
Wawufikela nje ukuthi uzovikela isimo sokusebenza.
Slaves worked continuously.
Izigqila-ke zayiqhubeka zisebenza nje zingaphumuli.
That's the definition of slaves. Work, 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 and just work. You're not getting paid, just work.
Ileyo-ke incazelo yomuntu oyisigqila ukuthi asebenze nje angaphumuli futhi angatholi nzuzo.
But the Sabbath,
Kodwa isabatha
as a constitutional labor law,
njengomthetho okuyisishayamthetho,
it mandated that everyone, the masters, the slaves, the immigrants, the women, the children, even the livestock, to get a day of rest, an absolute day of rest.
wanikeza-ke lo mgomo wokuthi wonke umuntu, ungakhathalekisile ukuthi ubani, kungaba yingane, igqila, abesifazane, abesilisa, wonke umuntu nje kufanele ngalolu suku aphumule.
It levels the social playing field weekly.
Yenza-ke indlela yokuhlala ibe ngecacile.
So you see now when I said, well, it wasn't just about God saying, commemorate this day because on 6 days I made the world, and on
ngakho
the seventh I
sesiyabona
rested.
sorry sesiyabona-ke manje ukuthi kwakungesikhona nje ukuthi uNkulunkulu uthi khumbulani lolu suku ngoba nakho ngenza umhlaba nakho konke okunye ngalokho phumulani.
It was also meant to be a constitutional labor law.
Kodwa-ke wawuzele ukuthi uzoba umthethosisekelo ozovikela abasebenzayo.
And you get to the century.
Masifika kwi-century,
It established a single shared judicial center with a unified code of conduct.
yabeka-ke judicial center to prevent local elites. Okay. Yabeka.
Okay, let me say it again slowly.
Okay.
It established a single shared judicial center. Judicial center is basically, courts, right? Where there's only one law and everyone is judged by that one law.
I-century-ke ivela njengendawo la okushawa khona umthetho umthetho-ke ozokwazi ukuthi wabelwe wonke umuntu okhona ngokulingana.
In a way, you can say that the century worked as a court.
Singasho ngenye indlela ukuthi i-century yayisebenza njengenkantolo.
Because everyone was just having the same judge them.
Ngoba wonke umuntu wayenaleli jaji elizokwazi ukuthi libehlulele.
So God's laws,
Imithetho kaNkulunkulu,
the no Sabbath, the no idols, the keep my Sabbath, the respect my sanctuary.
yona lena emithathu ukuthi akungabi nayithixo, gcina isabatha lami and ne-sanctuary yami.
They were designed to prevent oppressive, unequal structures.
Yakhelwe-ke ukuthi ivikele labo abacindezelekile kulabo abanamandla.
That was seen in Canaan and Egypt.
I didn't get that.
That was seen in Egypt and Canaan.
Into efanayo-ke yayenzeka eGibhithe naseKhanani.
And instead of having, these rules were just meant to, again, instill justice for all.
Lemigomo-ke yayizele ukuthi izofaka ubulungiswa kumuntu wonke.
And we looked at the Sabbaths.
Sasesibheke isabatha-ke.
We look at all the Sabbaths that existed in the Old Testament.
Sabheka wonke-ke amasabatha abekhona ngaleso sikhathi se-Testament elidala.
And the point was to show that Sabbath is a constitutional labor law.
Iphuzu-ke esasifuna ukulicacisa ukuthi isabatha liwumthetho olaphana kwisishayamthetho.
And last week I went through each and every one of them.
Kule viki eliphelile-ke ngiyabheka umthetho nomthetho okhona
And why are they a constitutional labor law?
ukuthi kungani imithetho ekuyishayamthetho.
And if you really dug deep into them, you really see that this was actually meant to protect slaves.
Uma ungena ugcila uyabona ukuthi le miyalo le imayelana nokuthi ivikele labo abayizigqila.
For example, the weekly Sabbath.
Kakhulukazi-ke mangenza isibonelo isabatha leli lamaviki.
Every seventh day, the social hierarchy was just leveled.
Njalo ngosuku lesikhombisa umuntu wonke wayephumula.
It guaranteed a right to rest.
Yayiqinisekisa impela ukuthi noma kanjani makufika lolu suku uzophumula.
It guaranteed that for 6 days,
yayiqinisekisa ukuthi ey'nsukwini eziyisithupha
yes, you can be a slave.
ngempela ungaba isigqila.
But for that one day,
Kodwa lukhona lolu suku olulodwa
you can rest.
kulolu suku-ke ila uzokwazi ukuthi uphumele khona.
Women can step out of the kitchen.
Abesifazane bengaphume lapha kuphekelwa khona.
It was the absolute baseline for human rights.
Kwakuba into enhle impela yenzela abantu kwaba ilungelo elihle kakhulu labantu.
We went deeper into that. I'm not going to. Last week we did.
Siye sagxila kakhulu kulokho kodwa-ke angizukubuyela kukho namuhla.
Festivals.
Imikhosi-ke.
Festivals were just that one day, and I don't know how frequently festivals happened.
Imikhosi-ke yayenzeka-ke kahle ngosuku nje lolo olulodwa noma ngingaqinisekanga ukuthi kwakudlula isikhathi esingakanani.
But these festivals were meant to be a wealth redistribution.
Yayimayelana-ke nokusabalaliswa komkhiqizo.
Your Passovers, what are the other ones that were treated in Old Testament? I can't remember, but Passovers and all the other festivals that you had.
Yonke-ke le mikhosi eyayikhona-ke njengayo imikhosi yephasika, first fruit kanjalo ungayibala zibe iziphelele.
This feast mandated that the wealthy, they should bring their seasonal abundance, all the things that they've accumulated, the food.
Le mikhosi-ke iyayenzela ukuthi-ke konke lokhu ade bekuqongelela sonke lesi sikhathi ingcebo yabo bekwazi ukuthi
sorry.
Carry on.
To be brought to a central location shared directly with the entire community.
Ukuthi-ke ilethwe lapha ndawonye kwisikhungo thizeni la ezokwazi ukuthi yabelwe wonke umuntu.
For example, if you were a street kid and did not eat for the entire 6 months and you knew this day is coming, you knew that you were going to eat. It was guaranteed you're going to eat something. I have not eaten in 6 months. I am going to eat today.
Ngokwesibonelo-ke uma kungukuthi ubuyi-street kid noma lezi ngane lezi engasahlala emakhaya wawazi ukuthi kunalolu suku oluzofika oluqinisekisayo ukuthi ngempela ngalolu suku uzoba nokho ukudla ozokudla.
And then you have the sabbatical year.
Bese kuba-ke naleyo nyaka lo wesabatha.
Every 7th year, the military debts were cancelled and the land was just lay, you know, to rest. It was just a mandatory debt cancellation.
Lolu suku lolo-ke lwalwenzela ukuthi kube khona ukuqedwa kwey'kweletu kulabo abakweletayo, bese kuthi nalabo ababethathelwe imihlaba yabo bebuyiselwe imihlaba yabo.
It just functioned as a built-in bankruptcy protection.
Yayenzelwe ukuthi kuvikeleke labo abahlwempu ukuthi bengaphelelwa yikho konke okungabaphilisa.
Then you have the Jubilee.
Bese uba nejubili.
Every 5th year, it was a microeconomic reset.
Njalo emva komunyaka engamashumi amahlanu kwakukhona lento ebizwa nge-microeconomic reset.
This is where all debt slaves, those slaves that went to slavery because they owe someone.
Ilapho-ke abantu ababesuke bekweleta noma ababehambe baye ebugqilini ngenxa yokuthi babekweleta othize.
They were set free and ancestral lands automatically went back to the original families.
Babekhululwa-ke ebugqilini babo bese kuthi lelo lizwe noma lowo mhlaba wokhokho babo ubuyisele kubo.
So legally, it was blocking the rise of permanent corporate monopolies or landed oligarchs.
Lo mkhosi-ke wawukade uvimbela ukuthi kube khona ukuthathwa kwezinto zabantu unaphakade zingabuyiselwa kubo.
So obviously for the weekly Sabbath, all the festivals, the sabbatical year and the Jubilee, they all had a religious background to them.
Konke-ke lokhu amasabatha lawa amaviki nalemikhosi eminye konke kwakunomlando wezinkolo.
The reason why they did all this was because of God.
Izathu zakho konke lokhu kwakumayelana nokuthi uNkulunkulu.
It was genius when I look back, I see this being genius.
Kwakubuhlakani obukhulu impela lokho mangibheka nje kwakungobukhulu ubuhlakani.
And you look back and you see, oh, there was equality in the Old Testament.
Mawusuyibhekisisa kahle uyabona kwakukulingana kahle kahle lokho.
God was introducing equality, but we just didn't see it.
uNkulunkulu la wayeveza nje ukulingana kodwa-ke kwakufiphele lokho emehlweni ethu ukuthi sikubone.
So yes, the Sabbath is between God and man.
So isabatha-ke limayelana noNkulunkulu nomuntu.
But when you go into history, you actually see that, oh, it's actually also between men and men.
Kodwa-ke ma ubuyela emlandweni uyabona ukuthi kahle kahle limayelana nakho ukulingana.
And we moved to the century. It was just a constitutional court house. It was just a constitutional court house.
Njengendlu yesishayamthetho.
This is where we ended, by the way, last week.
Okay, can you repeat that, Tina?
this is where we ended last week. So I'm gonna try to finish.
Ilapha ke esigcine khona sonto ledlule kodwa sizozama ukuthi siqedeke namuhla.
So what I mean by saying that a sanctuary, it operated as a constitutional courthouse.
Ngisho ukuthini ke mangithi i-sanctuary le yayisebenza njengendlu yesishayamthetho.
It's because they had the law, which was one law for all.
Ngenxa yokuthi ke kwakunomthetho wodwa obophezela bonke abantu.
The same code applied universally to citizens, immigrants. Everyone just had the same code.
Into efanayo ke kubo bonke abantu kuma university nakuma immigrants nakulo lonke uhlobo lomuntu.
Every citizen had an identical standing before the ultimate judge.
Sonke ke wonke umhlali unesimo esifanayo ngaphambi kwaleli judge.
And it ensured that equal worth and protection for everyone.
Ukuqinisekisa ukuthi ke kuba khona ukulingana komnotho nokulingana futhi ekuvikelweni.
And all leadership was supposed to bow down to this law.
Bonke ke abaholi babefanele ukuthi bathobele lo mthetho.
It's a law principle called lex rex.
Are you reading what's written in the screen, Tina?
Yeah, this one. This one.
Okay. Lex rex, eh?
Yes. So it meant that the law was supreme.
Ichaza ukuthi ke umthetho wawumkhulu.
The king or the ruler was not above the law.
Bese kuthi ke umholi othize noma inkosi ethize yayingekho ngaphezu komthetho.
The sanctuary reminded people that the law was above the king.
I-sanctuary iyona esibonisa ngokucacile ukuthi ke umthetho wawungaphezulu kwenkosi.
That leaders could be tried, they could be held accountable, and they could be rebuked using the exact same text that is governed by, basically, that is governing everyone.
Ukuthi ke abaholi nabo bengakwazi ukuthi bekwazi ukwehlulelwa lapha kulo mthetho uma kukhona abangakuhambisanga kahle ngoba abekho ngaphezulu kwawo umthetho.
I think this is one of the reasons why every time a king takes over a place or Egypt, they destroyed the sanctuary.
Ngiyacabanga ukuthi mhlambe esinye seyizathu esenza ukuthi yonke inkosi uma izothatha umbuso yayenza isiqiniseko sokuthi iyalihliphiza iyalibhidliza le sanctuary.
Because of what the sanctuary represented.
Ngenxa yesizathu sokuthi babazi ukuthi wawumeleni.
The sanctuary simply said, no one is above the law.
ngoba i-sanctuary ngokucacile nje ithi akekho ngaphezu komthetho.
And you get to Canaan,
Mawufika eCanaan,
and you know, despite this beautifully engineered laws,
ngaphandle nje kobuhle nale mithetho ekhona,
besides this beautiful constitution that the God gave them on Mount Sinai,
nale mithetho emihle abanikeze yona uNkulunkulu eMount Sinai.
despite that beautiful constitution that they were given,
Ngaphandle kwayo leyo mithetho ababenikezwe yona emihle,
they rejected it.
bayiflathela.
They looked at the other empires around them.
Baqala babuka ke eminye imibuso ebazungezile.
And they demanded a human king.
Base bephoqelela ukuthi nabo bebe neyabo inkosi efana nabo.
And by doing that, they rejected equality.
Ngokwenza lokho ke kwaba isiqalo sokulahlekelwa ke ukulingana.
By demanding a king to be like other nations,
ngokuphoqelela ukuthi babe nenkosi ukuze bezofana nezinye izizwe.
Israel dismantled the protective legal framework of Sinai.
Bese beqeda ke leso sivikele ababe naso abanikezwa sona eMount Sinai.
They rejected or traded Lexis for the rule of men.
Baflathela noma badayisa ngalowo myalelo lo omuhle kangaka ababenikezwe wona eMount Sinai.
And the result was the prediction of Samuel 1, verse 8.
Iziphumo ke zalapho noma umphumela walapho kwaba uSamuel wokuqala,
which was the systemic land grabbing, the forced labor, the centralized taxation.
Okuyinto ke eyaholela ekuthenini ke kube khona ukuthathelwa imihlaba, ukusetshenziswa ngendlela engalunganga. Yeah, carry on.
So when God warned them that this is what will come about if you tell me that you want a king, this is what it will reside in. This is what it will this will be the outputs of what you're saying. This will be the result of what you're demanding.
Uma kuNkulunkulu ebaxwayisa ukuthi lento eniyifunayo nansi imphumela ezoqhamuka kulento enithi niyayifuna.
If you look at it, that's actually what happened.
Uma ubheka ke kwenzeka nje njengoba uNkulunkulu wayeshilo.
So God's displeasure was not rooted in this was not rooted in an ego, because God had this huge ego that people did not want to choose him.
Okay, can you repeat that, Tina?
What displeasured God was not because they were rejecting him.
Okungamjabulisanga uNkulunkulu kwakungesikhona nje ukuthi bamflathelile.
But it was also because the people were voluntarily walking back to this trap that God was trying to take them out of.
Into ke eyokuthi bavele bazikhethela bona ukubuyela laphaya kulolu gibe uNkulunkulu ayekade bakhiphe kulona.
By asking to be like other nations,
ngokufuna nje ukuthi befane nezinye izizwe.
they were actively voting to dismantle this perfect rule of law.
Ngokucacile nje kwakufana nokuthi bavotela ukuqeda ngalomgomo omuhle wokuphila.
And they wanted to rebuild a massive steep pyramid structure of Egypt.
Babesafuna ukuthi bekhande kabusha labo nxantathu base eGibhithe.
And God's law was just trying to prevent that. The 10 Commandments were trying to prevent that.
Imiyalelo ke lena eyishumi kaNkulunkulu iyayizama ukuvimbela konke lokho.
Through Prophet Samuel. Oh my goodness.
Ngomprofethi uSamuel,
God issued God issued an accurate legal warning.
uNkulunkulu wabanikeza isixwayiso esisabekayo.
Warning them exactly what a monarch would do.
Ebaxwayisa ke ngalokho ukuthi inkosi le abayifunayo izokwenzani.
They traded the Sabbath for forced labor.
Badayisa ngesabatha ke ukuze bezokwazi ukuthola badayisa ngesabatha ukuze bezuze umthetho wezokusebenza omubi.
They traded the Jubilee for the king who would just take their fields, their vineyards, and just take them to themselves.
Badayisa futhi ngejubili le eyayikhulula igqila iphinde ibuyise nemhlaba yokhokho. Bayidayisela bayidayisela yona le ndlela entsha yokufuna ukuphila.
As God predicted, human kings place themselves above the law.
Njengoba uNkulunkulu wayeqagulile abantu ke bazibona bazidayisa bazibeka baba ngaphezu komthetho.
They rejected the sanctuary, the courthouse.
Baflathela ke i-sanctuary indlu kaNkulunkulu.
They completely stopped respecting the law.
Ngokuphelele ke bayeka ukuhlonipha umthetho kaNkulunkulu.
And they broke the structural laws of economic and social welfare.
Bayephula yonke le mithetho le yokwakhiwa kabusha komnotho nakho konke kunye.
Their captivity to Babylon was an organic consequence of their choices.
Ukuthunjwa kwabo ke beya eBhabhiloni imphumela yezenzo zabo.
They did not respect the law.
Babengawuhloniphi umthetho.
And that resulted in them being in captivity.
Lokho ke kwaholela ekuthenini ke bathunjwe.
Their actions caused them to be in captivity.
Izenzo zabo yizona ezaholela ekuthenini bathunjwe.
God said I have these beautiful laws that I've made for you.
uNkulunkulu wathi kunale miyalo emihle enginayo enginilethela yona.
This beautiful constitution that I'm giving you.
Lo mthethosisekelo enginilethela wona.
If you reject it,
Uma niwuflathela,
there won't be inequality. There won't be equality.
ngeke kube khona into ebizwa ngokulingana.
And it will just be a world where the strong is overpowered by the weak. No, the weak is overpowered by the strong.
Kuzoba nje umhlaba wokuthi labo abanamandla bezenzela umathanda kulabo abangenamandla.
So this brings us to, oh, sorry, I missed something. The 70 years of captivity.
Iminyaka le isikhombisa ekuthunjweni.
It was meant to, we know what the 7 years of captivity represented.
Ngiyethemba siyazi ukuthi ile minyaka ewu-70 imele ukuthini.
It represented, it allowed the earth or the land to rest in a way.
Yayivumela ke ukuthi izwe liphunyuzwe ekusetshenzweni.
Going back to the 10 Commandments.
Masibuyela ke lapha emiyalelweni eyishumi.
And we've been saying that it is the relationship between God and man.
Lokhu sisho ukuthi imayelana nobudlelwane obuphakathi komuntu noNkulunkulu.
When we were children,
ngalesikhathi sisengabantwana,
when we were naive children,
ngalesikhathi sisengabantwana abanganaki,
that is what we believed.
Ilokho esasikukholelwa.
The whole of 10 Commandments were just between God and man.
Yonke imiyalelo leyishumi sasithi nje imayelana noNkulunkulu nomuntu.
Then we grew.
Sase siyakhula ke.
And we saw that actually the 6 are between man and man.
Lapho esabona khona ukuthi kahle kahle le eyisithupha imayelana nomuntu nomuntu. Lena ewu-4 imayelana nomuntu noNkulunkulu.
But I hope you can see.
Ngiyathemba ukuthi siyabona
that the 4 is between man and man.
ukuthi le ewu-4 imayelana nomuntu nomuntu.
And the 10 commandments were made for us, humanity.
Ukuthi le miyalo eyishumi yayenzelwe thina abantu.
It was not the 4.
Lena ewu-4.
It was not just because God is a jealous God.
Kwakungekho mayelana nokuthi uNkulunkulu unomhawu.
It was a social protection.
Kwakuwumyalo nje ukuthi uvikele abantu.
By burning idols, saying idols are not allowed.
Ngokuqeda izithixo, ukusho ukuthi izithixo azivunyelwe.
It encodes equality.
Lokho kusho ukulingana.
And the Sabbath ensured survival.
isabatha. Okay, I didn't get the last part of that.
The
Or
Sabbath, in
isabatha
short,
okay, isabatha laliqinisekisa ukuphila.
and obviously, yeah, you cannot claim to honor God
Ngeke uze uqinisekise ukuthi uyamhlonipha uNkulunkulu
if you're actively destroying human beings made in His image.
uma ngempela uwumuntu okhathaza abanye abantu abenziwe ngomfanekiso kaNkulunkulu.
The four and the entire of the Ten Commandments is encoded in equality.
Lena ewu-4 kanye naleminye ekhona yonke iveza ukulingana.
Equality under law.
Ukulingana ngaphansi komthetho.
For the benefits of humans.
Lokho okuzuzisa abantu.
We have been saying that the 4 guides the 6 guides the 4.
Besilokhu sithi-ke le eyisithupha ihola lena ewu-4.
When I say we've been, I say from 2019.
Okay, repeat that, Tina.
The 6 guides the 4.
Lena ewu-4, lena ewu-6 ihola lena ewu-4.
True worship is found in how human beings relate to one another.
Ukukhonza okuyiqiniso kutholakala ekuthenini abanye abaphatha kanjani abanye abantu.
Within a just society.
Emphakathini nje olungile.
How can you claim to love God if you do not love your brother, if you hate your brother?
Ungazibiza kanjani ngothanda uNkulunkulu uma kukhona ongamthandi, uma kukhona umuntu ongamthandi?
So what was God trying to teach us?
Yini-ke uNkulunkulu ayezama ukusifundisa yona la?
And what's the point of this lesson?
Ngabe yini inhloso yalesi sifundo?
Was that the 4 was never about our relationship with God.
Ukuthi leyo 4 kwakungekho mayelana nobudlelwane boNkulunkulu nomuntu.
It was always about teaching human beings how to relate to other human beings.
Kwakumayelana nje nokuthi abantu kumele bahlobane kanjani nabanye abantu.
So instead of having 4 commandments teaching us about God,
esikhundleni sokuthi sibe nemiyalo emine le ukuthi sihlobana kanjani noNkulunkulu,
we have 10 commandments teaching us about humanity.
sinemiyalelo eyishumi esifundisa ukuthi kumele sibe nobuntu komunye nomunye.
Because if you can treat your neighbor properly,
ngoba uma uphatha umakhelwane wakho kabi,
if you have a good relationship with your neighbor,
uma unobudlelwano obuhle nomakhelwane,
you have a good relationship with God.
Unobudlelwano obuhle futhi noNkulunkulu.
Because it wouldn't even be hard to relate to God.
Can you repeat that?
It won't be hard relating to God.
ngeke kube nzima ukuthi uhlobane noNkulunkulu.
So in a way, you can just say the Ten Commandments meant for humanity, but also just a way of teaching us about God.
Ungasho ngenye indlela ukuthi imithetho eyishumi iyayenzelwe abantu futhi imayelana nokufundisa abantu ngoNkulunkulu.
I mean, we should have known this when Christ said, I give you the Sabbath for you. I gave you the Sabbath for you.
Kwakumele sikwazi lokho ngalesikhathi uKristu esho ukuthi nganikeza isabatha.
And Christ said the Sabbath was meant for you.
uKristu ke wathi isabatha lenzelwa umuntu.
Have you ever asked yourself what did that mean?
Ngabe ukazibuzana ukuthi kusho ukuthini lokho?
Obviously, there's an interpretation that people had.
Ngokusobala ke vele bakhona abantu abanencazelo ngalokho.
But when you look at history, you will see what it means.
Kodwa mawubheka umlando uzobona ukuthi kusho ukuthini lokho.
It was a constitutional labor law.
Kwakumayelana nje nomthetho omkhulu ovikela abasebenzi.
So you are left with 10 commandments.
Usele nemiyalelo eyishumi.
Not just dealing with God.
Kungesikhona nje ukuthi imayelana noNkulunkulu.
But dealing with the human society.
Kodwa kumayelana nokuthi nje ikhuluma kakhulu nomuntu.
All of the 10 commandments, all of them.
Yonke le miyalelo le eyishumi.
Not the 6, not the 4.
Kungesiyo lena eyisithupha, kungesiyo leyo 4, kodwa yonke.
All the 10.
Yonke 10.
We're all meant to teach us about humanity.
Sonke sifanele ukufundiswa ngobuntu.
And when we learn about humanity,
masifunda ngobuntu,
we learn about God.
Sifunda ngoNkulunkulu.
God did say, I made you in my image.
uNkulunkulu ushilo ukuthi ngikwenzile ngomfanekiso wami.
So when we understand human beings,
uma ke sibaqonda abantu,
when you treat human beings in a correct way,
siphatha abantu ngendlela efanele.
You are keeping God's law. You are worshiping God. You are just keeping God's law.
Nakanjani lapho ngempela ugcina umyalelo kaNkulunkulu.
So if we're just going to say the 4 is dealing with humanity, no, the 4 is, I made a mistake. If we're going to say that the first 4 is just dealing with God.
Umubuzo uthi le eyo4 yokuqala imayelana noNkulunkulu.
And it's just between God and man.
Imayelana noNkulunkulu nomuntu.
In just that.
Lokho nje kuphela.
We are losing what God was trying to teach us in Sinai.
Silahlekelwe yilokho uNkulunkulu ayezama ukusifundisa khona lapha entabeni Sinai.
We are losing what God has been trying to teach us for the last 6,000 years.
Siluza lokho uNkulunkulu abekade ezama ukusifundisa khona kusukela emuva le eminyakeni kuze kube manje sekuhlangana iminyaka ewu-6,000.
So God is not just giving out the commandments so that people can worship him.
uNkulunkulu akanikezeli nje ngale miyalelo eyishumi ukuthi abantu bemkhonze kuphela.
God is not giving us the 10 commandments so that we can just worship God and only God.
Akasinikezi nje ukuthi nje sikhonze yena uNkulunkulu and yena yedwa.
Yes, it's about that, but if you learn how to fully read them, the 10 commandments,
Yebo kumayelana nalokho, kodwa-ke uma ufundisisa kule miyalelo eyishumi,
you can worship God in the right way because you won't have a misconception of who God is.
ungamkhonza uNkulunkulu ngendlela ekahle, ngeke futhi ulahlekelwe ulwazi oluphelele lokuthi uNkulunkulu ubani.
One might say this study is just, we are disconnecting God from the 10 commandments.
Mhlawumbe omunye ngasho ukuthi nakhu sesihlukanisa uNkulunkulu emiyalelweni eyishumi.
And oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, one might view it and say that you are just disconnecting God from the 10 commandments, but that is not what I'm doing.
Kodwa akusikhona lokho engizama ukukwenza.
I'm trying to show that if you learn about humanity,
ukuthi uma ufunda mayelana nobuntu,
you're learning about God.
ufunda kabanzi ngoNkulunkulu.
So God is just we just have this one standard of justice where everyone is viewed equal in the eyes of the people.
Sinalesi standard nje esisodwa sokuthi siyalingana sonke ngaphansi komthetho.
Questions?
Nanso ke imibuzo.
Comments, contributions.
Kanye nokwengeza.
Questions.
Sekuyithuba ke lemibuzo leli kanye nama-comments.
Recording in progress.
Okay, I'm gonna assume this now. We'll just close with a word of prayer.
Sizovala ngomkhuleko.
Dear God in heaven, we thank you for the 10 commandments, and we thank you that you continuously teach us how to love you, and you teach us by teaching us how to love one another. I would like to thank you for the growth that we have had, and I pray that you be with each and every person who is joining and who's here present. Pray that you be with them in learning more about you. I pray in Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
And that's the end of my study. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.